Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me. So today I am so excited for this video. Like, I think seriously this is one of my most exciting videos that I've done for myself. I am just over the moon, and it's a dupe video. If you don't know what a dupe is, it's basically I've taken high-end products, I've taken drugstore affordable products, and I've made this look. And if you can't tell which side is which, then I've done an extremely good job. And so yeah, let's get into the video. If you want to see what products I've used, let's jump into it. I'm so pleased that I've been able to accumulate all these products, and I think there's some pretty good choices here. You might even be pleasantly surprised at some of the choices. I know I was when I actually started swatching some of them, and I'm like, wow, those are really, really similar. So we're gonna first start off with primer. And what I'll do is I think I'm gonna make this side the high-end side and this side the drugstore side. And hopefully I don't mess myself up. I've tried to lay out all my products here so that this is the drugstore side and this is the high-end side. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that that's how that's gonna work. So for the primer, the first one I'm starting off with is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And it's just a clear gel. But the dupe that I have for it, and I've used this for really like a lot of years, is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Used it lots on my channel. So we'll go in, I'm just taking basically like that much on my finger, and I try and work this in where the pores are biggest and down in these fine lines around my smile lines and on my forehead, again where I have those frown wrinkles. Even though I don't frown a lot, I don't know why I have so many frown wrinkles here. Wrinkly forehead. And you'll have to excuse all these little grays that are poking up this morning. That happens when I wash my hair. I have just grays stick up. It just is so annoying. And I'm going to place some of that primer right under my eye to help with the concealer. And this one just sinks right into your pores, blurs all of my pores on that I have. It looks great. And I'm just wiping off. Every time I'm going to use a product, I'm just going to wipe off with my cloth here so I'm not mixing the products up. So we're going to go in now with the Smashbox. And again, just like a gel. And going to do the same thing, put that right in the pore area. They're both really lightweight. They don't feel heavy on your skin, but they both feel really nice on my face. They've smoothed all of my pores out here. This one especially, I can really see it. The Maybelline side has really blurred those out. And I love both of these. And the regular price, so that was the other thing I was going to tell you guys, is how much these are. So the Smashbox one, when I went online for the full size version, this one is $44 for the full size. And then the Maybelline is $12. And these aren't the type of primers that are going to be like tacky feeling and that sort of thing. They just really just are smoothing the pores out, fine lines, and just leaving your skin really soft. So I like both of those products. So we're going to go in next with foundation. The color shades are going to be just off a little bit by these two products, but I always go by not so much the shade, because you can always change shades. It's more the formulation that I'm looking for. So for the higher end foundation today, we're going to go in with Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. And I have this in the shade R330. And then for the drugstore dupe version, we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I have this in the shade 430. But I'll show you how similar they are with formulation. So we're first going to go in, I'll do the high-end version first. And this one is quite a liquidy formula. Now I don't have to use as much because I'm only doing half my face. So I'm just going to go in with that much. But you can see how liquidy it is. And what I'm going to do, because I just have the one sponge really, so I'm going to use one side for the higher end foundation, and I'll use this for the other side of my face. I don't want to mix them up. So first we'll go in with this foundation. And this is more of a medium coverage, but extremely lightweight. You do not feel this on your skin at all. And basically it's really skin-like. That's how I can describe it to you. And this one does feel like it blurs some of my pores. It's going to be hard not to do the other side of my face here when you're in such a rhythm. Okay, so now that's all blended in. But you see how fresh it looks, and it's really comfortable to wear. Like, it really doesn't feel like I'm wearing foundation on my face at all. It's very lightweight. It's beautiful. So we're going to go in now with the Drugstore dupe, and I'll show you. I've wiped off the back of my hand from that other foundation. I'll just show you how it has a similar consistency, but see how it's runny as well. This one also is like a lightweight foundation. Like I said, the shade is going to be just a little bit off, but it will be more the formulation that I'm looking at. This one does have a tiny bit of a scent to it. So if you have sensitivities to that, it's not overpowering. I can't even, it's like a rosy scent. And this one you can build up to be a little bit more of a fuller coverage. And this one too feels like just really skin-like on your face. And then neither one of these foundations look cakey on your skin at all. All right, it's all blended in now, but you can see basically how they are so similar. You can still see my natural skin poking through, and like especially these sunspots, they still are poking through, which is fine. It just looks so natural. So that's how I really figured that these were a dupe. So the price point on the Makeup Forever is $55, and the price point on the L'Oreal is $20. So keep in mind these are also Canadian dollars, so I'm not sure what the price would be in other parts of the world, but that's Canadian prices. So just a little bit of a difference for basically the same formulation. Like really you can see on my skin here, very skin-like. And yeah, so I love both of them, but I especially love a $20 foundation compared to a $55 foundation. So next up is concealer. So on the high-end side, we're going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And I have this in the shade Nude, and the dupe for that is going to be the NYX Born to Glow. I've talked about this a million times on my channel. Sorry, it is just such a great concealer. And I did go out and purchase a different color. I think it was natural I had before. So I went and picked up the light ivory. I just wanted a bit of a lighter version of the concealer. So when I put them on, you'll see that there is a little bit of a shade difference. But what I'm going for is how they both are very hydrating. And I'm just going to place it right where I am the darkest. It's going to be really hard to do highlighting down my nose because you know I always do highlighting. I think I'm just going to put some up here and I'll put some down here. But yeah, we'll skip the nose highlighting today. And I'll use again that same sponge, the side that I used this on. It's a really creamy concealer. I'm just going to go in with my Real Techniques, my little sponge here to blend it in. But the formulation on this is so hydrating, and it is more of a fuller coverage concealer, where I think the NYX one is more medium coverage, but I think it does a pretty good job. Considering I have such dark under eye circles, it does a really decent job. But this one is really lightweight, and it just kind of glides on. So that is all blended in. Really nice coverage. So next we'll go in with the Born to Glow. Now they do have a different type of applicator, whereas the Born This Way is like a doe foot applicator. The NYX is like a sponge top, and you just kind of squeeze to bring the product to the surface. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to bring too much out onto the sponge. And then I'm just going to place that. That's better. Yeah, so this is just a little bit lighter than that other shade I had, but this one is super hydrating. So I'm just going to use the other side of the sponge so I'm not interfering with the other concealer. Yeah, this one is super hydrating. I am so happy with it, and it does not make you look dry under the under eye at all. And both concealers actually, it's almost like they smooth out some of the fine lines and wrinkles. And for settling, both of them do have a little bit of settling. I will always have that under my eyes. I have really fine lines under my eyes, so I just take my finger and smooth them out. But see how it doesn't look cakey at all. It's really creamy. Like the NYX is a really creamy concealer, so I love it, love it, love it. Oh, and price. So the NYX, the Born to Glow is, I wrote everything down on a piece of paper here so I could keep track. So it is $12, and the Born This Way is $38. So just a, you know, little bit of a price difference. So to go in and set everything, I really like to use like fine loose setting powders instead of a pressed powder. So the two we're going to go into today with is the Makeup Forever, and I just have like a little trial size of this one. It's the Ultra HD micro powder, and it's really, really fine. And then the dupe for that, which I came across and I'm really happy with it, is the NYX HD Studio Finishing Powder. And again, this is 100% pure mineral. And it is also like a really fine powder as well. So we're first going to go in with, I'm going to put some in the lid of this one. Just a tiny bit, because I'm just doing the eyes and I'll set the rest of my face as well. But I like it when they are a really fine powder and they're translucent, so they're not depositing any other color under there. But you see how that just glides on and it's not drying my under eye out. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm just going to take a different brush. And I want to put just a tiny bit up here where I had that concealer and down along my nose. And then I just clean that brush off and we're going to go in with the NYX. And products like this, when they say like HD and that sort of thing, very good for pictures. You're not going to get flashback. It's just going to take away some of that shininess that I have under there. And the price points on both of these products. So the Makeup Forever, if for the, like when I looked up online and saw what the full size price was, it is $48 and the NYX is only $12. And what's nice about this one too is it's also because it is that like a clear powder. Same with this one too, they can be used on all skin tones. So now that I have a lot of the face done, I do want to go in and do my eyebrows. So for the high-end side, we're going to go with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. And I have this in the shade medium brown. And then the dupe for that I have been loving using on my channel all the time is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. And I have this one also in medium brown. But I'll just swatch them for you guys. So the Maybelline is this one right here. That's the Anastasia. So they are very similar. There's just like maybe just like a hair shade off a tiny, tiny bit. But again, they are both considered medium brown. So let's start on the high end first. I do really like this pencil, and the spoolie on it is really, really soft. But it just lets you get into all those little fine hairs, and it's not too waxy. So far, that turned out really nicely. Love the color, and it's such a soft pencil, but I really love my Maybelline one. Again, it's a similar, they're both like a similar pencil, and the spoolie on this, surprisingly for drugstore, I've had a few other eyebrow pencils where you go to like push the spoolie through, and they're either a little bit too hard or they just kind of tug at your hairs. I don't like those ones, but this one is very, very similar to the Anastasia. Very soft when you go to pull the spoolie through, and brushes the hairs really nicely. And again, like this might be just a little bit off color-wise. So for the most part, pretty decent. I think the Maybelline just is like a hair bit darker, but overall, I think pretty comparable. And the price point for, so the Anastasia is $28 and the Maybelline is $11. So pretty big price point difference for just an eyebrow pencil. So next we're going to move into the eyes. And this was the one thing that kind of made me kind of go, what can I compare? Because I don't have a lot of like higher end eyeshadow palettes. I have tons of drugstore ones. So what I did was I'm going to go in with the Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette, and I'm going to compare it to my Physicians Formula Butter eyeshadow. I have this one in the shades Tropic Days. When you hold the two up together, with the exception of these shades over here and these shades over on this side, some of the shades I'll swatch them, some of them, so you can see. So I'll be generally using kind of these shades over here, and I'll be using these shades in here. And like I said, I'll swatch them as I use them, and I can show you guys how very similar they are. And I'll also be using different brushes for each side so that they don't get mixed up with the other product. So to first go in with the transition shade, I'm going to go in with this one right here in the Dominique palette. But let me first try swatching this one here. So that's the Dominique one. And then I'm going to swatch this shade right here. And that is called Coastal Chic. And I'll swatch the one right beside it. So it is a tad bit darker with a little bit more of a peachy tone. But for the most part, it's not bad. Okay, so let's start off using this one. And I'm going to put it all over my lid. And I'm going to put it right up into my eyebrow. But the formulations are so similar. This one here is very, very creamy and blends easily. And I think what I'll do is I'll go side by side. So I'll use the transition shade on this side now too. Okay, and so this is the Physicians Formula side. But these are so creamy as well. Hence why they're a butter version. But they blend so beautifully and glide on the eye. And they smell beautiful. A lot of the Physicians Formula products smell so nice. Not bad. This is just a tiny bit darker, but not by much. And of course, the Dominique palette smells amazing as well. It smells like coffee. So that blended in really nicely. So I want to darken those outer areas up. So we're going to go in with this one here called Cafecito. And on the Physicians Formula side of that, we're going to go in with this dark one right down here, and that is called Coco Loco. Just let me swatch them. So this is the Cafecito, and this is the Physicians Formula one. So again, you can see really very similar. And they're both a matte shade, and they're both extremely pigmented as I'm trying to wipe them off my arm. Oh my goodness. So I've wiped this brush off. And we're going to go in very lightly with the Cafecito and just start depositing the color right on the outer edge. Wow, that is, I'm amazed every time I use this palette of how pigmented it is. And I'm using just a really light hand. And I'm taking it not all the way to the other side of my eye. I'm going to stop about halfway. Okay, so that blended really nicely. Now we're going to go on to the other side with the Physicians Formula. Again, extremely pigmented. And this one you do have to tap off. It's a little bit more powdery than the Dominique Cosmetic one. All right, I think we're doing good. Like, doesn't this look really similar? I'm amazed as I'm doing this now because I didn't test this out beforehand. All I did was swatch them just to see that they were kind of similar colors, but I am amazed so far. So I want to put in a little bit of, you know, like sparkly, you know, I like sparkly and stuff like that. So we're going to go in with this shade here, which is Iced Coffee. And on the Physicians Formula side, we'll go in with this bottom shade here, and that is called Tan Lines. So I'll go below where I had that other swatch because literally I have tried to wipe those off and they're not coming off. So this is the Iced Coffee. And this is the... So it's a little bit, the iced coffee is a little bit darker. And I'm just deepening that edge out here and blending it right into kind of the center area. It's just going to add a little bit of shimmer. But they blend so beautifully. Very nice formulation. And now I'll go in with the Physicians Formula side. So far, I am pleasantly surprised at how this is turning out. I mean, when I put the mirror really up close, there is a little bit of it, like this one seems just a tiny bit browner than this side, but for the most part, I don't know if you can see it far away, it does look very, very similar. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And also just price-wise, the Latte 2 palette, when I looked it up online, it's about $55. And the Physicians Formula, the butter one, is $20. So next we're going to go in with eyeliner. I'm going to use liquid eyeliner today. And the one that I'm going to use on the high-end side is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I have this in Trooper Black. And for the drugstore side, I'm going to be using my favorite Hyper Easy brush tip liner, the Maybelline. Both are super pigmented, very liquidy, and stay on a really, really long time. But very similar tips. So this is the Kat Von D tip. And that's the Maybelline. So very similar. So we'll first go in on the Highend side. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put false lashes on yet or not. It glides on really nicely. So that went on super nice. I'm not going to really do a wing today. And we're going to go in now onto the other side and use the Maybelline. This one is really liquidy, which is great. It makes it so easy to put on. Yeah, so that's the only shortfall of the Maybelline one, is it's not waterproof. So when an eyeliner isn't waterproof, sometimes I find when I do put it right down into my tear duct area, it can flare out some like later in the day. Okay, so before we get into the mascara, like it looks really very similar. Again, you can see formulation, the thickness of the line looks great. I want to do a little bit of tight lining. I like to do that before. If I'm going to wear lashes, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. It's going to depend on what the mascara looks like today. On the higher end side, I'm going to go in with my Lee Swatche Intense Waterproof Eyeliner. And then on the drugstore side, I'm going to go in with my NYX Retractable Eyeliner. And this is also in the shade black, I believe. Yeah, black. Oh, something that just dawned on me when I was thinking of the eyeliners. So the Maybelline eyeliner is $12 and the Kat Von D eyeliner is $27. So those are the prices for you. And the price on the two eyeliners, so the Lee Swatche is, I believe, $24, and the NYX retractable one was about $8. But when I tightline, I just like to run it under my upper waterline, and it just makes your top lashes look fuller. And I'm going to use that also in my bottom waterline. And then we'll go and do this side. Again, both of these are waterproof. I always highly recommend using waterproof when you're doing your waterlines. And I also want to put a little bit of color underneath my lids. So let's first start off with one of the colors that I used in the Dominique palette. So I'll go back in with Iced Coffee. And for the drugstore side, I'll just run in with that Physicians Formula. So that turned out nicely. Both colors did really, really well underneath the lash line. So this is going to be the fun part because I haven't done a head-to-head against these two, and I've heard such good things how one is definitely a dupe for this product, but we'll see. So for mascara, we're going to go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and it has, now I just have a little, like a trial size of it, but the brush head is really unique on this one. But the one I'm going to be comparing it to is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. And it also has a very similar brush head. And for price, the Lash Paradise, this one is $13, and the Better Than Sex is $32 for the full size. Let's see how this works out. And then again, if I'm not happy with how my eyelashes look, sometimes I want a little bit more oomph in them. So that's why I'll go and maybe put lashes on, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. And I have them both in the shade, I think, this is black, and I have, so the Lash Paradise one is brown black, and then this one, the Better Than Sex, is black. But they're both really volumizing, and I usually build it up to a couple of coats. So that's one coat so far. Okay, so that's 2 coats of the Better Than Sex mascara. So now we'll go in with the L'Oreal. And both these are really good for lasting through the day. I find with both of them, they don't have like flaking. I don't know, guys, but now that I'm looking in the mirror, they are really, really similar. This is 2 coats on the top and just like 1 coat on the bottom. They look extremely similar and very volumizing for both of them. Yeah, I can't see a difference. I can't tell that I've put 2 different mascaras on. So I am really impressed with that. So I just wanted to kind of give you what they look like now. I do want to throw on some lashes just because I just want a little bit of extra something this morning. So I will be right back. So I just went and threw on the Ardell's. These are the 110s Natural. These are one of the most natural lashes I think I have ever worn. I love them. I have a few packs of them. It's one of those lashes where people will kind of look at you and go, is she wearing lashes, or, you know, is that just the mascara? So it's like, yep, you keep them guessing. So love these lashes, absolutely love them. So next we're gonna go in with bronzer. So I was trying to figure out what kind of bronzer would complement the ones that I already have. So for high-end bronzer today, we're gonna go in with the Hoola Benefit. I have used it a lot. I use it for actually contouring. It's really, really good for contouring because it's a matte bronzer. There's no like sparkles in it whatsoever, no shimmer. And for the drugstore side, we're going to go in with the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. And I have this one in the shade Sun Bronze, but I'll just swatch them real quick for you guys. Please excuse the lines on here. For the eyeshadow I still can't get off. So this is going to be that's the Hoola, and then that is the Rimmel. Let me see if I can swatch that Hoola just a bit better here. So pretty similar. The Rimmel's going to be just a tad bit, just like a hair darker, not by much. Now this one is really, really pigmented. The Hoola is very pigmented. But we just want to bronze this up. But yeah, this is a great one for contouring. And we're going to take it up here and down my jawline. But isn't it just a really nice warm bronzer? And then we're going to go in with the Rimmel. And again, this one is extremely pigmented as well, but it has very similar coloring. And they're not chalky, like they're just a really nice formula, not too powdery. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought the Rimmel one won like a beauty award. I can try to remember now. I think it was maybe like a magazine. I think it won for some sort of beauty award. And surprisingly, the shades are really, really similar. So that's why I gravitate towards this one. And for price points, so the Hoola bronzer, this one here, like the little sample size, is $23. And the Rimmel Natural Bronze is $9. Now this one, next product, I couldn't exactly match up the shade, but the formulation is very similar. So for blush, we're going in with the NARS, and this is the Iconic Orgasm. So the one that I have as a dupe for the NARS is actually the e.l.f., the well-used e.l.f. Now it is a little bit more of a peachy shade, but the formulation is so similar. Those flecks you can just kind of see those flecks in there. I mean, I know the NARS is like a cult favorite. So I don't know how, I've never used it before. This is like brand spanking new. I've always wanted to try it, so I'm just going to dip my brush in there because I usually don't wear a lot of blush. Just going to put some on my apples and my cheeks. Oh, that is a really pretty color. Yeah, that is really nice. Okay, now I'm cleaning the brush off and we'll go in with the e.l.f. Now I don't know if you can still get this one in stores because I know e.l.f. has just kind of gone through like a whole big launch of different products, but I know you can for sure get this online still. But see, once you put it on, it does just kind of give you that same coverage. Yeah, I think they are, when you actually get them onto your cheeks, even though this one comes off as a bit peachy in the container, I am impressed. You guys, like, that is really similar. Oh my goodness. And so as a price point, so the NARS is $39 and the e.l.f. you can still get for about $6. So this product definitely blew me away with how similar where they are, and the prices are extremely different. So for highlighter, we're going to go in with the Tarte, and this is the Amazonian Clay 12-hour highlighter, and this is in the shade Exposed. But my dupe for it is the NYX Born to Glow. Very well used, I know. It's pretty dirty. And I have this one in the shade Chosen One. But wait till you see when I swatch these. So I'm going to swatch. This is the Tarte. And then this is the NYX. Like, seriously, guys. You can't even see the difference. This one shocked me the most. Out of all of the products, this one really shocked me the most. Okay, so we're gonna dip in, and this is just like a little trial size of it. The prices on them, so for the Tarte is, for the full size one, it's $38. And the Born to Glow is $14. And it, like, look at that. So, like, oh my goodness. And then for the NYX, I'm just gonna use a fan brush, because I don't want to use the same brush. It is so stunning. And especially when somebody's like a highlighter junkie like me. Like, look at you guys, like that side and that side. Can you really see the difference? Nope. This one might have a bit more like of a goldy undertone to it. And to go in with the lips, I wanted to really use that Charlotte Tilbury, the Pillow Talk little kit that I showed you guys in a previous video. So we're going to go in with the lip liner. And I was trying to find a dupe for the lip liner. And I came up with the L'Oreal. This is the Color Rich. So this is the Pillow Talk lip liner. And this is the L'Oreal. So extremely similar. And prices are, the L'Oreal is $12 and this one was $27. Sorry, I had it the opposite way. So this one is $27, this one is $12. So it's going to be kind of weird doing half my lip, but let's give this a try. But the formulation is so similar when I was swatching them. And if anything, this actually feels like a bit of a harder pencil than the L'Oreal. The L'Oreal is a bit softer. That side, and now go this side. But look at the shades, like seriously, they are almost identical. Okay, so like if anything, the L'Oreal is maybe just a tiny bit on the nudie, like a more of a browner undertone to it. But again, you can probably see very, very similar. So we're gonna go in now with the Charlotte Tilbury, the Pillow Talk shade of lipstick. So weird only doing half your lip. But the formulation, I mean, without doubt, it's very creamy. And it does stay on relatively long for like a bullet lipstick. That's why I like more liquid lipsticks, because they stay on longer. But yeah, this does a pretty decent job. And then for my dupe, I'm going in with my L'Oreal. This is the Collection Exclusive Edition, the J-Lo. So again, this is really creamy. And if you put them side by side, the J-Lo has a little bit, yeah, of a like a brownier undertone to it. And the Pillow Talk is like slightly pinker, but really not by much. And I picked this one because A, for the shade, but it's also very, very similar with the formulation, very creamy. But like I can't see a difference. I'm looking right now in the mirror and I can't see a difference. I am just blown away. Oh, and the difference between the lipsticks, the Charlotte Tilbury is $39 for the full size of the Pillow Talk, and the J-Lo is $12. And then I always like to go in with a little bit of gloss, although you know what, it's pretty shiny today, so I probably could go without gloss, but I have two products to use, so why not? You know, what the heck. So for gloss, we're going to go in with the Milani. This is Keep It Full. I have this in the shade Champagne. And then for the higher end, we're going to go in with the Buxom. And I have this one in the shade Katie, but then this also is a plumping lip gloss. So the bottom one is the Milani, and then that's the Buxom on the top. So very, very similar. Pretty close. This has more of a peachy undertone to it. So let's first go in with the Buxom. Has a really nice smell to it. Kind of smells like cotton candy. And we'll go in with the Milani. And they're both working because both sides of my lips are tingling. I know it's probably just a gimmicky thing, but we can dream. Well, this is the completed look. And I don't know about you guys, but I really cannot see a difference. Like I am shocked for my first time doing this. I scrutinized over all these products and I thought about it so hard about what ones would coordinate with this and that. But I think this turned out great, and it just goes to show you that, you know what, sometimes you don't always have to spend a lot of money on products and you get the same results. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it isn't until I start editing that I don't know how long the video ends up being, so I apologize. I hope it doesn't end up being too long for you guys. But one of my friends here on YouTube, Julia, she had mentioned to me, because I said I always feel bad, like, man, my videos sometimes end up being like 25 minutes and stuff like that. And she goes, Mel, you upload once a week, right? Like there's some people that upload 2-3 times a week, and each one of their videos can be like 15-20 minutes. But mine are, you know, sometimes they're 25, sometimes they're 30 minutes, but she, you know, just kind of, that was a light bulb for me. And I went, yeah, you know what? I only do upload, you know, once a week. So it was nice for her to say that, and I had to kind of stand back and pause. So yeah, that made me feel better. And I just like talking with you guys, and I like describing products and that sort of thing. So I hope you don't mind. Yeah, let me know if you like these type of videos. This was so fun. I am just so happy with how this turned out. I think I just said it. I'm amazed of how this turned out. I don't know what to say, but this was super fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to be a part of my little world here on YouTube, and hit that notification bell, and that way you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And let me know down in the comments down below what sort of videos you'd like to see. I always like to take your advice, and hopefully I have some ones coming up here that you guys will like. So until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great week and a great life, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!